Once, in the heart of a modern monarchy, a young woman emerged, quietly, steadily, from the pages of tradition into the spotlight of global admiration. Her name is Princess Leonor of Spain, the heiress to the Spanish throne. She began as a reserved figure, rarely seen, her public appearances carefully measured, her words chosen with care. Yet with each step she took, through military training, public oaths, and graceful appearances, she quietly captivated a nation. And, more than that, she captivated the world. Born into history, Leonor inherited titles both ancient and symbolic: Princess of Asturias, Girona, and Viana, Duchess of Montblanc, Countess of Cervera, and Lady of Balaguer. But more compelling than the weight of her lineage was how she carried it. With a calm, sincere presence. In a world starved for authenticity, she offered something rare, genuine, disciplined promise. In the autumn of 2023, as she turned 18, she shared a moment that made headlines across the country. A classmate at her military academy, where ranks and hierarchy typically silence such gestures, simply looked at her and said, "How beautiful you look, Bourbon." And in return, Leonor smiled. A warm, unguarded smile. It was fleeting, but for many, it was the spark that ignited something more than admiration. It began a phenomenon the media quickly dubbed Leonormania. That same day, in front of Parliament, Leonor took a solemn oath. She pledged to uphold Spain's constitution, respect its laws, and defend the rights of its citizens. It wasn't just a formal gesture, it was a renewal of faith in a monarchy that had struggled with public trust. In that one moment, she became more than a royal, she became a symbol of stability, of continuity, and of graceful change. But behind that image of serenity lies grit and discipline. In 2023, she began a 3-year journey of military training. She faced the rigors of army drills in Zaragoza, the sea trials of naval courses in Marin, and, soon, the challenges of the Air Force in Murcia. And she didn't just show up. She trained, she competed, she earned her saber. Her performance was so distinguished, she received Spain's highest military honors. After 5 months aboard the Juan Sebastián de Elcano, a tall training ship named for the first man to circumnavigate the globe, Leonor returned. In full naval uniform, saluting with confidence. Her arrival in New York made international headlines, a young princess who had conquered the sea, standing ready for a future filled with duty. Her public speeches added another layer to her emerging legacy. At the Princess of Girona Awards, she addressed the nation in Catalan, a language she learned in childhood and embraced with sincerity. "You anticipated challenges," she told young innovators, in a world where everything is urgent. Her delivery was confident, clear, and remarkably human. And then, of course, there is her style. At one ceremony, she wore a deep blue mini dress borrowed from her mother's closet, a subtle nod to both elegance and family continuity. In another, she appeared in a striking navy power suit, diamond earrings shimmering under stage lights. Her look was no accident. It was a carefully crafted message that she is growing into her role with grace, without abandoning the youth and individuality that define her. But Leonor's rising star isn't built on fashion or formality alone. It's something deeper. She represents a modern monarchy, responsible, accessible, educated, multilingual, and undeniably relatable. She has addressed youth empowerment forums, supported environmental initiatives, and led charitable efforts with quiet confidence. She doesn't just carry a crown, she carries purpose. Online, her popularity is clear. Her social media mentions surpass those of her father. Surveys reveal that over 70% of Spaniards believe she has what it takes to lead the nation. 3/4 support her military training. And perhaps more telling than numbers are the words of those who admire her. "She's multilingual, well-spoken, intelligent, capable, disciplined, and committed," writes one royal watcher. Others describe her as regal, poised, admirable, with a quiet confidence. For many, she evokes memories of Queen Elizabeth II in her youth, a figure both distant and beloved. And while the facts paint a powerful picture, one cannot help but wonder about the quiet moments. The speculative spaces between duty and destiny. Perhaps, in the privacy of her room, Leonor keeps a journal, filled with ideas, thoughts, and the weight of future responsibility. Perhaps she sketches new initiatives for education, jots down ideas for charity work, or writes reflections from her naval voyage. Maybe, on quiet nights, she looks out over the sea and thinks not of titles, but of people, her people, and the kind of queen she hopes to become. Maybe she mentors young women in remote villages. Maybe she walks unannounced into schools or hospitals, simply to listen. Maybe, behind palace walls, she is building not only a resume but a legacy of genuine connection. And whether or not these moments are real, they feel possible, because of how real she already seems. Princess Leonor's rise to global admiration isn't luck. It's not a product of PR machines or orchestrated appearances. It's the intersection of history and humility. Of tradition and transformation. She is, at once, royal and relatable. Disciplined and warm. Modern and timeless. She has not demanded the world's attention, but the world is watching. Closely. Eagerly. Hopefully. In Princess Leonor, people see not just the future of Spain's monarchy, but the future of leadership itself. Thoughtful. Composed. Compassionate. And ready. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates about the most promising princess in the world today.